Your royal family line has been confirmed, but they have been keeping it from you, and now you are being told by heaven itself to pay attention and listen without delay, because this is not a joke or a game, and it is not meant for casual sharing but for your heart and spirit alone. So open this now, because the blood in your veins is not ordinary blood but the blood of ancient kings and queens, and a legacy blessed by God yet hidden for generations under lies and fear, because those in power were afraid of what would happen if you learned who you truly are and understood the authority and strength you carry. But you are not here by accident, and every part of your life has been leading to this moment when the truth would break through the shadows and your destiny would awaken. For you have the wisdom of your ancestors, the courage of warriors, and the calling of leaders and prophets, yet those who feared your rise have tried to convince you that you are ordinary, placing obstacles in your way and whispering doubts into your mind. But the light of your royal bloodline is breaking through, and Archangel Michael is beside you with his sword drawn, cutting away lies and opening the path for you to step into what belongs to you by divine right. And this call is urgent, because the time to claim what is yours has come, and your lineage is meant not only for you but for those who come after you as a legacy of leadership, strength, and divine favor. But the world was not ready for this truth, so they covered it up and hid the records to keep control. Yet God has preserved your identity, and heaven has held back the moment until now, because you were being prepared through trials, pain, and victories that shaped your character and deepened your faith. And now the signs will appear through dreams, symbols, crowns, and unexpected opportunities, as doors long closed will open and truths long buried will rise. And this fire of destiny inside you cannot be put out, but with such power comes responsibility. Because the forces that tried to hide you will resist, but heaven's army surrounds you, and Michael's sword of truth will break every plan against you. So guard this truth and share it only with those ready to hear, because this is a sacred trust, and you are chosen and protected for a mission to rebuild what was broken, restore what was lost, and bring justice and light to a world in need. And your royal bloodline is a beacon of hope, calling you to lead with compassion, courage, and humility, while heaven confirms this through signs and helpers who will appear to guide you. And when you see the path before you, know that you are stepping into a role prepared before the foundation of the world. And this is not about ego but about faith, because the true heir walks in grace and obeys the voice of the Spirit. And your crown is love, your sword is integrity, your shield is faith. And Michael says, do not delay, because the countdown has begun and the truth is here, and nothing can take away what God has given you. And though enemies will try to distract you with fear or lies, you are under divine protection, and you are not just surviving but conquering. And as you feel the power of your ancestors stirring, know that your heritage is a key to healing, transforming, and leading. And you must let go of old fears and walk a path others may not understand, knowing you are never alone, because heaven is with you. And the weight of this truth may feel heavy, but it is the proof that you were chosen to carry it. And your awakening is not for later but for now, because your bloodline is alive in you, and it is a covenant tied to kings, prophets, warriors, and priests. And for too long it was hidden by those who feared your rise, but God never forgot, and angels guarded it until this moment. And now the window is open, but the enemy will fight harder. So trust fully in God and know your power is meant to bring peace, justice, and light. And you are called to finish the work your ancestors began, because your trials were the refining fire, and your preparation is complete. And the unveiling will happen quickly, with closed doors swinging open and lies exposed. And the forces of darkness will try to pull you back, but you have the chief warrior of heaven guarding you. And this is the moment to surrender doubt, open your heart, and walk forward. Knowing this bloodline is hope for the world and authority to heal and lead, and this is about serving with love and strength, and your ancestors fought to protect this call, and now it is your turn, and nothing can hold you back because God's timing is perfect and every step was part of the plan, and you have been chosen to take the throne of your destiny, and you must guard this knowledge as a key to your future, using it to guide those still in darkness, and your story will inspire generations, while your courage will break chains and your faith will move mountains, and your power is not just in your blood but in the Spirit of God within you, making you unstoppable. And Michael is ready to fight your battles and clear your path as you open your eyes to the truth that has been waiting for you, because the veil is lifting and the truth is rising, and you are royalty, chosen and destined, and nothing can change that. So open your heart and receive this call, because you were made to shine, to lead, and to step into a life prepared by God Himself. And you must know this is not a joke, but a direct order from heaven, and you are of a sacred royal heritage hidden from you for years by those who feared your awakening, but they cannot stop what God has ordained. And your bloodline is not only about title but about spiritual authority over darkness, and if you knew who you were, chains would fall and enemies would tremble, so heaven is breaking them silence and choosing you to carry this legacy forward. And you must act now, because the time is short and the forces against you know their defeat is near, and they will try to silence you, but you now have the voice to declare life, freedom and victory, and you are made to reign in your calling as a warrior of faith, truth and love, with Michael at your side protecting you at every step. And you must prepare your heart by letting go of bitterness and walking in humility, so the gates of heaven open for you and your life becomes a testimony of miracles and divine favor. And even when the path twists, you will be guided and protected, because you are deeply loved and your prayers are heard and your tears are seen and your faith is rewarded. So rise now, claim your inheritance, step into your authority, and know that the angels are rejoicing over your awakening, and heaven is sending signs to confirm it, and your bloodline will open doors locked for generations, and your name will be honored as you live in God's provision and timing, and you will carry peace, joy, courage and supernatural favor as your mark of greatness. So hold your faith and ignore the lies of unworthiness, because you are restored and redeemed, and this message is backed by heaven itself. And you must act now without fear or delay, because your royal bloodline is confirmed and the time has come to live it fully, and the angels are cheering you on. So take your place, for your kingdom is ready and your destiny is here. And as you step into this moment of truth, you will feel the shift in your spirit, like the earth itself moving under your feet, because the chains of limitation will break and the weight of every lie will fall away, and you will realize that you were never small, never forgotten, never without purpose, for the same God who designed the stars also wrote your name into the story of kings and queens. And now the heavens are declaring that it is your turn to rise and lead. And though you have walked through seasons where the road was rough and the nights were long, it was all to prepare your heart to handle the greatness that is now being placed upon your shoulders, because leadership in the kingdom of heaven is not just about authority but about service and sacrifice and carrying the light into places where darkness thought it could hide. And your journey has given you compassion for the broken, understanding for the lost, and wisdom to guide those who cannot yet see their own value. And you will be a bridge between heaven and earth, carrying messages of hope that will restore faith in those who have nearly given up. And this is why the enemy fought you so hard, because he saw even before you did the glory that would come when you stepped into your true identity. And the battles you faced were not just random hardships but carefully designed attacks meant to break your confidence and silence your voice. Yet every wound you received has healed into a scar of victory, and those scars are now proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you, and this is the mark of a true royal, because you understand pain, and that understanding will help you lead with mercy and wisdom. And now the hosts of heaven are arranging divine connections. People will come into your life not by chance but by assignment, each one carrying something you need for the next stage of your destiny, and you too will carry something for them, because your royal bloodline is not meant to benefit you alone but to raise others into their purpose. And this is the multiplication of the kingdom, where one life surrendered to God can ignite hundreds of others. And as you move forward, there will be moments where you feel the pull of your old life, the doubts, the fears, the comfort of staying unseen, but you must resist, because once a royal is crowned, they cannot return to being hidden, for the light within them will always seek to shine. And though the world may not yet recognize your crown, heaven sees it clearly, and every step you take in faith is building a testimony that will be told long after you are gone. And Archangel Michael is already walking ahead of you, clearing obstacles and placing signs so you do not lose your way. And in the nights when you feel alone, you will sense the weight of His presence and hear the whisper of God reminding you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And in this season, pay attention to the visions that come when you sleep, because your dreams will no longer be random. They will be coded messages filled with symbols of your calling, and as you learn to understand them, you will gain direction for every decision you make. And there will be days when you wake with a fire in your chest, unable to explain it, and that is the stirring of your royal spirit calling you to act. And when opportunities appear, do not let fear keep you from taking them, because these are doors that have been waiting for you for generations. And even if you feel unprepared, remember that heaven equips those it calls, and your life will be filled with moments that seem impossible until they happen. And then you will know it was not by your own strength but by the favor of God. And this is why your royal bloodline is so important, because it connects you to promises made long before you were born, promises of protection, provision, and power. And those promises cannot be broken, because they were sealed in the courts of heaven and written into the very fabric of your being. And now that you know who you are, you will begin to see everything differently. The way you speak will carry more weight, the way you walk will command more respect, and the way you love will heal wounds in others that no medicine can reach, because your authority is not just in your title but in your spirit. And when you pray, heaven listens. When you speak truth, darkness trembles. And when you stand in faith, the impossible becomes possible, and even the earth itself will respond to the presence of God within you. And storms will be calmed, and paths will be made straight, and resources will appear where there seemed to be nothing, because heaven is backing every step you take in your divine calling. And though there will be those who doubt or try to discredit you, remember that their disbelief does not change your identity, and you are not called to convince them, only to live in such a way that the fruit of your life becomes undeniable evidence of your crown. And as you lead others, they too will begin to awaken to their own identity, because the light you carry will spark something in their souls, and together you will form a generation of royals who rule not through fear or oppression but through love, justice, and truth. And this movement will spread like wildfire across nations, bringing hope where there was despair, unity where there was division, and peace where there was conflict. And this is what the enemy fears most, not just one royal rising but an army of awakened leaders taking their place and changing the course of history. And you are the beginning of that wave, the first to hear this call in your family. line for many generations, and when you answer it you will break curses that have held your bloodline captive for centuries, replacing them with blessings that will flow to your children and your children's children, and every act of obedience will echo forward, creating ripples of transformation that will touch lives you will never meet. And this is the scale of the calling on your life. It is far bigger than what you can see right now, and it will require faith beyond what you have known, but you will not be alone, for the same God who called you will walk with you every step, providing guidance, wisdom and strength in every moment, and the angels assigned to you will not only protect you but also bring the right people into your path and open the right doors at the right time. And this is why you must keep your heart pure, because the authority you carry is sacred, and when used in humility it will multiply blessings, but when tainted by pride it can bring unnecessary trials. So guard your heart and remember that the crown you wear is first a crown of service, for a true royal leads by lifting others higher and giving glory to the King of Kings who gave them their position. And as you grow in your calling you will find that your desires begin to align more and more with the desires of heaven, and you will want what God wants and love what God loves and hate what God hates, and this alignment will make your steps unshakable, because no matter what storms come you will be rooted in the unchanging will of the one who called you. And when others see the stability in your life they will come to you for guidance, and you will speak with a wisdom beyond your years, because it will not be your own but the wisdom of the Spirit flowing through you. And there will be miracles that happen in your presence, not because you sought them but because the power of heaven moves where faith is alive, and as you remain faithful these miracles will become a normal part of your life and testimony, and you will look back one day and see how every twist and turn, every delay and disappointment was part of a divine design to bring you to this exact place of influence and impact. And you will be humbled by the realization that you are part of something far bigger than yourself, and you will give thanks knowing that your royal bloodline is not just a title but a responsibility to carry light into every place you go. And this is the destiny that no one can take from you, because it was given by the one who holds all authority in heaven and on earth. And now the only question that remains is whether you will rise to it fully, without fear, without hesitation, and without looking back, because the moment to act is now, and the throne of your calling is waiting, and the crown is ready to be placed upon your head, and heaven is watching to see you take your rightful place as the royal you were always meant to be. And as the crown touches your head you will feel a rush like wind and fire moving through your veins, for this is not an earthly crown made of gold and jewels, but a spiritual crown forged in the fires of trial and victory, carrying the weight of heaven's authority. And with it comes a new clarity. Your vision will sharpen, and you will see the true nature of people and situations beyond the surface, their intentions, their hidden pain, their silent cries. And this gift of sight is given not for judgment but for guidance, so that you may speak words that heal and lead with wisdom. And there will be those who try to hide their darkness from you, but the light within you will expose it gently yet powerfully. And some will resist, while others will fall to their knees and surrender to the truth they feel in your presence. And as you walk in this new season you will notice the pace of your life shift. Some doors will close quickly without warning, others will burst open with opportunities you never imagined. And this is the rhythm of divine timing. It will feel strange at first, but soon you will learn to trust it, because heaven is now orchestrating every detail for your advancement, and with each step you take you will sense the ground beneath you growing firmer, because you are walking the path that was chosen for you before the foundation of the world. And though storms may still come, they will no longer shake you, because you know your authority over them, and you will speak to them and they will obey. For the same Spirit that calmed the seas lives within you, and when fear tries to return, it will no longer control you, because you will remember who walks beside you and the promises that stand unbroken over your life. And in this journey you will begin to see patterns unfold, signs that you are exactly where you should be, perhaps a repeated number, a word spoken by a stranger, a song that plays at just the right moment, each one a reminder from heaven that you are seen and guided. And as your awareness grows, you will also become more sensitive to the needs of others. You will hear the unspoken questions in their hearts and feel their silent pain, and you will be moved to act not out of obligation but out of the love that now burns brighter within you. And this is the mark of a true royal, not the power to rule but the heart to serve, and in serving you will find joy deeper than anything the world could offer, for it is in giving that you receive, in lifting others that you are lifted, and in blessing others that your own blessings overflow. And there will be times when you are called to speak before crowds, and other times when your most important work is done in secret, where no one but heaven sees, yet both are equally valuable in the eyes of the King. And as you continue this walk, the angels assigned to you will bring resources into your life, not just money but wisdom, connections, opportunities, and even rest when you need it, because the journey of a royal is not meant to be walked in exhaustion but in strength and balance. And you will learn the art of moving with grace through seasons of action and seasons of stillness, and this rhythm will keep you from burnout and keep your spirit sharp and ready. And as the years pass, you will see the fruit of your faithfulness: entire communities changed, families restored, leaders raised up from places you never expected, and you will marvel at how one life fully surrendered can create a chain reaction that spreads far beyond what you could reach on your own. And in those moments you will understand why you faced every battle, why you walked through every valley, because without them you would not carry the authority you have now. And this understanding will fill you with gratitude even for the hardest seasons, because they shaped you into a vessel strong enough to hold the weight of heaven's calling. And though the crown you carry is invisible to human eyes, it will be felt by everyone who meets you. They will sense the dignity, the peace, the quiet strength that comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. And this will open doors that titles and achievements never could, because the world is drawn to the authenticity of someone living in their true identity. And as you near the later chapters of your journey, you will see a new responsibility emerging: the passing of your crown, not in the sense of losing it, but in the sense of multiplying it in others. For a true royal does not cling to power but raises new leaders and teaches them to lead with integrity and love. And you will pour into them the lessons you learned, the wisdom you gained, and the courage you discovered, so that long after you are gone, the light of your leadership will continue to shine through them. And in this way your influence will outlive you, becoming a legacy that cannot be erased by time or history, for it is written in the lives you touched, and in the changes you sparked, and in the seeds you planted that will continue to grow for generations to come, and as the day comes when your earthly journey is complete, you will not fear it, for you will have lived fully and given freely and loved deeply, and when you stand before the throne of the King who called you, he will look upon you with eyes of fire and tenderness and say, "Well done, my faithful royal, you have ruled with love, you have led with truth." And even as you stand at the edge of what feels like the completion of your journey, know this: the story is still alive, because your obedience has set into motion waves that will travel farther than the shore you can see, and long after you have moved to new chapters, those waves will continue touching hearts, stirring hope and awakening destinies in people you may never meet. And though the world may forget many things, it will not forget the light you carried. For true light cannot be erased. It lingers, it glows, it inspires others to kindle their own. And so every word you spoke, every act of kindness, every step you took in faith has been stored like treasure in the vaults of heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy. And there will be moments in the days ahead when you will look around and realize that the places you once only dreamed of are now the very ground you stand on, because promises that seemed far away have now become reality. And you will smile quietly, knowing that every delay, every detour was simply a redirection towards something better than you imagined. And as your faith grows unshakable, you will find that even in silence you have influence, for your presence alone will shift the atmosphere like the steady flame of a candle in a dark room, not loud, not flashy, but impossible to ignore. And those who are lost will find their way simply by walking toward your light. And this is not by your power, but by the one who placed that light in you. And there will be seasons where the road feels lonely, but you will come to understand that loneliness is not the absence of purpose, it is often the space where heaven whispers the loudest. And in those quiet hours you will be reminded of your true source, your strength, your identity, and from that place you will rise again with renewed fire and clarity, and you will step forward without the fear that once tried to chain you, because you have learned that every time you thought you were breaking, you were actually being rebuilt. And now your foundation is unshakable, your spirit unmovable, your resolve unstoppable. And with each passing day you will see more clearly that you were never meant to blend into the crowd. You were meant to stand out, not for your own glory, but so that the glory of the one who sent you would be visible through you. And in this final stretch you will notice an acceleration, a quickening of events, opportunities aligning faster than you can count, prayers answered before you even speak them, needs met before they even arise. This is the fruit of alignment, when your steps are fully synchronized with the rhythm of heaven, and it will feel like you are carried by a current that knows exactly where to take you, and all you need to do is trust and flow with it. And when challenges appear, they will no longer intimidate you, because you now understand they are simply invitations to rise higher, to step into deeper levels of strength and wisdom. And your victories will not just be for you, they will be for every person connected to your life, for every soul who will hear your story and find courage to step into their own calling. And so as this chapter draws to its close, hear this final charge: walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the quiet confidence of one who knows their worth. Guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of your life, and speak truth even when your voice shakes, for your words carry weight. And when you find yourself at a crossroads, choose the path that requires faith, for it will always lead you closer to your purpose. And remember, the crown you wear is not just a symbol of who you are, it is a reminder of the responsibility you carry to be a light in a world that desperately needs it. And as you go forward, may your steps leave a trail for others to follow. May your life be a signpost pointing to hope, and may your legacy be one of love that outlives you by generations. And when the final curtain of your earthly story falls, you will step into a kingdom where there is no end, no night, no shadow, only endless light and joy. And you will hear the voice that has guided you all along, calling you by name and saying, "Welcome home, my royal one. Your race is complete, your mission fulfilled, your heart proved faithful. Enter into the joy prepared for you since the beginning of time." And there you will lay down your crown, not in loss but in victory, for it will be placed in the hands of the one who gave it to you, and he will crown you again with glory that will never fade. And from that moment on, your story will be told forever among the great, as one who rose when the world said fall, as one who loved when the world turned cold, as one who believed when the world doubted. And in that eternal place you will finally see the full picture. The countless lives touched, the generations changed, the light that spread across the earth, because you chose to say yes. And so until that day, keep walking, keep believing, keep shining, for the kingdom is watching, the angels are guarding, and the King himself walks beside you. And this is your charge, your promise, and your unshakable truth.